Oh wow, I sure did love Marcus and Larkus the first game, if only they were kids. Fair enough. The Mario & Luigi series is one of the most popular Mario RPG series, and is famous for peaking in high school and killing its parents trying to relive those years. Why would you make this? Everyone knows it as a DS and 3DS franchise, but they tend to ignore when it actually first came to the Dus. Even though they forget about their second child, I never will. And speaking of, how did they decide to differentiate the second game in the series? With time travel, of course, and not just time travel, babies. And a race against the clock to fight a war against aliens invading the past of the Mushroom Kingdom in order to take it as their own to live there because their planet is dying, and if they don't, they'll go extinct, meaning that if you defeat them, their entire alien race will go extinct, and if they defeat you, your race will. Yes, this is a Mario game where the plot is an intergalactic battle where no matter what the outcome is, a species will become extinct. Thank you, Shigeru Miyamoto. I've always wanted a game where there was a forest where toads were being strapped to trees with the life force drained out of them through the roots to power stations. Killing trees. These toads are dying. That's gore of my comfort character.
I really hate to say this.
I think there's a toad in that tree. As per usual, the main plot of the game sees us gathering shards of a star, with most Mario RPGs being the same. This time, it is shards of the Cobalt Star, which ran Professor Egad's time machine that caused this whole kerfuddle. And it really is a kerfuddle, because this game starts with baby on baby violence. There's babies in the f***ing street.
Hello, bruv, can I have directions, please? I'm trying to get to Skegness.
The babies from the past and the adults from the present collide with this whole thing, and now they must team up with the past versions of themselves to stop the alien invasion. But last game had 2 characters, not 4, and we already used and B. Lucky for us, the DS has 2 new buttons, Y and X. That is the only difference between this console and the GBA, that's the only one. The 2-screen thing is really cool, and it makes amazing fights, because you can have things going all the way up in the air. But forgive me if I'd rather use some zoomed in portions of one screen in this video, because the split in the middle from capturing is quite noticeable. The combat in general has had a pretty good overhaul while containing the core mechanics. You still have A and B for Mario and Luigi, but now X and Y for Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. They can fight as a group of 4 or in both pairs separately. And what used to be bros moves are now replaced with items you can find and buy through the map that have different effects in battle. Some of them being literally infinite, which is perfect for bosses considering health bars are much bigger in this game, especially in the North American version. Seeing this boss of Petey Piranha reminds me of when I used to play this game. This was in fact the first Mario & Luigi game I ever played, and I never ended up beating it because I got stuck on this boss. But on this playthrough, I absolutely steamrolled him live, so you know, stream channel plug link in the description. But sometimes I do just play games like this and end up steamrolling a boss that I previously had trouble with and just think to myself, how was I so terrible? Also, take a look at the background. All of the areas in this game look so nice. Ooh, desert. Ooh, ice. Ooh, cave. They take the classic styles and twist them on their head. The freedom that they get given by using the past Mushroom Kingdom as their base is massive. We get to see so many new environments and ones that have been changed by the Shroob invasion or time. And we even get to see the past of some super iconic areas like Yoshi's Island. But oh boy, do I have something to say regarding Yoshi's Island. But I'll save that for the end, just like I did in the Superstar Saga video. But how do we get to these past areas, you ask? Through portals that are popping up across the present Mushroom Kingdom. I wonder what happens if I go in one of these. Is this the past? There's an old console behind me. This means it must be the past. What the fuck is that? Ever wanted to know what Mario and Luigi were doing as babies? Helping the future versions of themselves stop an alien threat. So not only do we have them in combat, we also have them throughout the overworld. Similar to Superstar Saga, there are puzzles scattered around that only specific teams can do. Some of the original abilities are back, like the spinning that Mario and Luigi can do, and the drilling into the ground that Baby Mario and Baby Luigi can do. But there are also new abilities like the ball, where Mario and Luigi take a page out of the Blue Hedgehog, who I don't know the name of's book, and just start spinning round. The puzzles in general all get this extra layer of complexity added onto them because they can split the bros up at any time and have you do different puzzles simultaneously. However, they are still babies, which means you may get some cute interactions. You also get a whole lot of Oh, stop crying! This game makes me want to get sterilized. And I should probably also mention this. There's Baby Peach and the Toadsworths have to try and entertain her. And there's also Baby Bowser who ends up teaming up with his older self. Which, I mean, hey, look at this. Cross-generational rivalry. No wonder they hate each other. They got indoctrinated by their older selves too. And while the combat necessarily is not hard at all, it's still fun and engaging. All the bosses are unique with unique attacks, unique areas, unique systems, and ways you have to beat them. And while your abilities have been buffed, and you could technically beat the bosses with one attack if you can keep a chain going, they counter that by giving the enemies a lot of HP. They have a lot of health in this game. And before we get to the final boss, I also need to mention the music again. I mentioned the music in the video about the first game, and that game, in my opinion, has some more memorable area music. But whereas Teehee Valley really stuck in my mind, in this game, there isn't a lot sticking in my mind from the areas. It's instead the bosses and the battle music that keeps me in this one. I'm playing some of the boss music in the background right now, and we're about to move on to the final boss. Collecting all the pieces of the Cobalt Star sends us into Princess Shroob's castle, and upon coming face to face with her, we have a large boss battle, which seems like it could be the end. It's a desperate fight from a desperate ruler desperate to keep her species alive, but it's life or death here, and we can't let them win. When she's finally defeated and we've condemned the Shroobs to death, the rest of the Cobalt Star emerges with only one shard missing, but Peach tells us she doesn't want that to happen. But Bowser Jr. interrupts and shoves it in, which is proof that no matter how desperate you can be, you can always have a plan B. And the plan B of the Shroobs relies in something trapped inside the Cobalt Star, the elder sister of Princess Shroob, resulting in a battle in the sky on a UFO against the more powerful, strongest Shroob leader. But she's not a match for the Mario Bros, and she goes down easily. The final form awakens, giving birth to one of the coolest villains I've seen in a Mario game. A giant tentacle monster, literally reduced to a massive beast purely to try and ensure the survival of their species. A towering figure with tentacles, tendrils, and plasma, accompanied by one of the hardest themes ever. Not even in an epic way, just such a not calm but serious theme. This doesn't feel like a generic Nintendo villain. The boss makes perfect use of the two screens with UFO attacks from above. Your counters need to be on point, and you need to maximize your infinite combos because the health bar is also atrocious. Thankfully, I wasn't on the American version, which has the worst health bar. The European and Japanese versions have a lot less health for this boss, but it is still a long fight, and it's worthy of being one considering what's on the line in the context here. Luckily, the Mario Brothers love making species extinct. You ever wondered why there's no dodos? Because Luigi had a shotgun and killed them all. But even when the day is saved, everyone goes back to their times and the credits roll. The true final boss is Alpha Dream's fetishes. Oh, and a possessed Bowser fight that happens. I kind of completely forgot this happens. This is also a common trope, but it's kind of irrelevant, so there we go. Possessed Bowser, he's gone. Anyway, back to Alpha Dream's obsession with Vor. Last time I made a comment about how Nintendo, and especially Alpha Dream, seem to put Vor in a lot of their things, and this game is no exception. You see, during the segment in Yoshi's Island Past, there is a giant monster alien Yoshi running around that is fat with boobs and eats everyone, resulting in an entire gameplay segment inside of its stomach. And this is just a continued thing. I don't understand why this is so necessary in every game. Why do we feel the uncontrollable urge to put Luigi alive inside of things' gullets? They even made the floor look all cushioned. I know one of them wants to live in here like it's a royal suite. Can we take a fucking break?